Hey guys, hey, how are you? Happy Saturday. Who is here? Just go ahead and put your name in the chat so I can see that you joined. Hello. Um, Let me see, I'm waiting. I'm seeing two people. Nice, great. Go ahead and share, guys, so we can get more people coming in. How are you? How was your Saturday? As you join me, just make sure you put in the chat who is in the building so we know who is here so I can recognize you. Go ahead and type in the chat so I can see who is here. Michelle, Lizzie, Curlew, good night. Good night. Where are you joining me from, Michelle? Go ahead and talk to me in the chat. Let me know where you are. Okay, so today was kind of cold, like really cold. I went out on the street and before long, my nose was running, my eyes were running, everything was running. I was just like, ooh, what am I doing out here in this cold? But anyway, I survived. Um, Brompton, Canada. Nice to have you from Canada. We don't usually see many people joining from Canada, so nice to have you, Michelle. Yeah, how is it in Canada, Michelle? Is it cold like it is here in New York? Because in New York City, it's very cold. Who else is here? Let's just put your name in the chat so I could know who is here. Michelle, tell us if it's cold there in Canada, because it is very cold here in New York City. Oh, when when I was outside, yeah, cold and windy. I didn't feel like it was windy when I was out there today, but for some reason, the cold was just like, you know, just making my eyes run. And that usually happens when it's windy, but I didn't feel like it was windy when I was out there. But it was just like both eyes watering, my makeup messed up, my nose running. Yeah. Although I had on the big thick scarf, a nice Kangol wool hat and my coat and a sweater, it was really still very cold. Um, Cara Senior is here. Jamaica is in the house. Hi, Cara. Yes, Jamaica is in the house. Cynthia Lewis. Hi, good night, Eve. Checking in from Boogie Down Bronx. Yeah. The Boogie Down Bronx. Love Bronx. I love Bronx. Still love Bronx. Is it cold in the Bronx? I know it's usually cold in the Bronx. Guys, can tell me how cold is it in the Bronx? When I lived in the Bronx, oh my God, that was cold. Manhattan is not as cold as the Bronx. Trust me. The Bronx is usually cold, especially when you're on the subway and you're at like East 180th Street. Oh my God. Or you're up like White Plains and Gun Hill Road up on in that train station that's all the way up there above ground. Ooh, that could be cold. Um, Shelly Smith is here also. Hi, Shelly. Yes. Um, yeah. So, guys, just let me know what's the weather like where you are. And as you join, please go ahead and share it so more people can come on. I just have something I need to talk about that I think is kind of, a little bit important. So I want to make sure we have more people in here. Marcia Roberts has joined us. Go ahead, guys, and let us know exactly where you're joining us from and what's the weather situation there. Us here in the Northeast, it is very cold, and we want people to know what what goes on with us here when we're overseas. It's not a bed of roses. It's very cold, and we still have to go to work, and we still have to go everywhere that we need to go and do everything that we need to do. I was over in Queens earlier. It wasn't as bad in Queens, but yeah, there's some places it's really cold and windy. So let us know what the weather situation is where you are. Um, yeah, so we can chat a little bit more about that. So, like I said, go ahead and share so that more people will know that we're here. Okay, Tara is in Malvern. It's cold and a little bit of rain. Ah, yeah, Malvern. Malvern is pretty cold. Malvern is such a beautiful place. Such a beautiful place in St. Elizabeth. I love Malvern. Very, very. Oh, it's always cool in Malvern. And very green and pretty. Um, yeah, so it's not unusual for it to be cold up in that side of the area. Hi, St. Louis is here. She said it's cold. I have been outside all day. I didn't get a chance to watch the weather. Well, how do you feel? Is it warm for you or coldish or very cold? Um, Shelley says we got heavy rain in New Market earlier. Kind a bit cold now in Kilmarnock. Okay. Yeah, it's getting to that time of the night when it would normally just start to get very cold in Newmarket and the fog is down and it starts to get cold and a little bit wet. All right, so yeah, beautiful. Um let as you come in, guys, please go ahead and share. I have something I want to talk about just briefly, but I want to make sure that we have as many people in the house as possible. I'm now seeing 10 people, so just go ahead and share so that we can get some more people coming up in here as we wait. Yeah, just put your name in the chat and say where you're joining from and what's the weather situation like where you are? I was cold today, but but um but I'm at home now and I'm warm and that's fine. Okay, so here's the thing. I spoke to Dr. Wallace today because um hey Claudine, how are you? I saw your brother-in-law today. I saw Kennox today. I saw Kennox and his other brother today. And I was with David and Yvonne in Queens. Hi, everyone, checking in from the Bronx, New York. Are you cold, Miss Claudine? I was over your neck of the woods today. It wasn't really that bad, but Manhattan was cold. Yeah. So yeah, I I was with Mrs. Wallace. I spoke with Mrs. Wallace earlier today. Um, that's the 104 years old lady that I interviewed on here recently, who is from New Market. She's now living in Florida. Um, yeah, and we had some interesting conversation because since that interview, there's a lot of interest in who she might be related to from the area and so on. So she's related to Smythe, the mechanic who I interviewed on here in a brief interview recently. Um, but Desmond Smythe. So she's related to that family. And some of you would know Bargain up at New Roads. Um, she is related very closely related to Bargain, right? But what we all didn't know was that she is also my cousin. Yes, she's my cousin. Um, and it's funny how that worked out because she is related to I don't know. You guys would know Sergeant from Beersheba, old Sergeant. Um, he is he is my great grandfather, um, and she is closely related. Um, I can't even follow the bloodline, but she's like really really closely related to Sergeant. No, Sergeant was my great great grandfather, and he also lived to be 106. She told me. So yeah. that was so exciting that she is a she lives she's still alive and she's 104. I'm not sure if Sergeant was her grandfather or what, or some close, very close relation though, and he lived to 106, right? Um, so that was amazing. So I need to catch up with her so we can trace out the family tree some more, um, as it relates to the Smith family from um, Beersheba Long Ground, and to have a family tree, because what she knows at 104, a lot of us would not know. And, when she departs, that knowledge is going to go with her, So, yeah, so this is interesting, and it gives me more idea to even explore more, talk to her more, because I will learn more about my family from her, um, and other people that can provide more interesting data and information on my family. So isn't that great? Miss Claudine is here. She says, "Great that you were able to see Kennox and Teddy." Yeah, I saw both of them today. I tell them about your show all the time. Well, yeah, I spoke with Teddy at length about coming on the show because he seems to be doing charity work in other places, and he's a past teacher of Black River, of Beersheba. Yeah, so I'll definitely talk to them more about that, about them coming on. Yvonne is here. Yvonne is saying hello. Yvonne, hi, Immaculate. It's cool and beautiful in West Palm Beach, Florida. How are you? And it's a beautiful show you have. Yes, thank you, Yvonne. So great to see you. Yeah, so I was just so excited to find out that I am related to Mrs. Wallace and close relations too. And so I'm going to have to try to catch up with her to make sure I get more documentation about my family. Because in order, um, Farrellyn Mitchell is here, says good night. In order to know who you are, you have to know where you come from. And you have to know who you came from. One interesting thing that Mrs. Wallace was able to confirm for me is, if you see me fiddling here, it's because my my charger is not plugged in, and my computer will go dead shortly. Lord help me with all these things I have plugged in here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm back. Yes. So one interesting thing she told me, or she was able to confirm with me, I heard this story a long time ago, that there was one person whose name was Smith, and something happened, and he decided that he's going to change his name from Smith to Smite, right? And he did, right? Because he didn't want to be Smith, so he changed his name to Smite. And then all his kids and everybody who come after him now have the name Smite, right? But they're really supposed to be Smith because this person was born Smith. Okay, so I asked her about it this morning, and she told me, yes, it's true. There was someone further up the chain in the bloodline who changed his name from Smith to Smite because Listen for this. Let me put on some lip gloss. You ready? Those of you who are coming in the house, tell me where you're calling me from, where you're joining from, and what's the weather like where you are. As you come in the house, tell us where you're joining us from and what's the weather like. Are you ready to hear the rest of the story? The person who changed his name from Smith to Smythe did it because someone stole a goat. Someone with the last name stole a goat. His name was Smith. And this other gentleman was so mad about it that he decided to do deed poll and changed his name to Smythe. And not only did he change his name to Smythe, he got his brothers and his family to change their name. And hence, we have a group of people from Newmarket who has the name Smythe today. They should be Smith. So, do you see how we could easily have people walking around rubbing shoulders together and don't know that they're related because one person decided he no longer wanted to be Smith, so he changed his name to Smythe. Hence, all the generations that followed him are now Smythe. I don't know if some of you guys even know that story, but it happened right there in Newmarket. And Mrs. Wallace told me the story today. She told me it's true. It was done. It wasn't arbitrarily because I thought it was just, you just start signing your name as that and that. And he said, no, they did deed poll and those names were changed to Smythe. So all the Smythes down there are my family. I didn't know that until recently. I had no idea that I was related to the Smythes until recently. Right? Michelle Levy Curlew says, even married to family. Oh, yeah, yeah, you can marry a family member and don't know because of stuff like that. And if nobody tells the story, if nobody tells the story, you could not be not close with your family and don't know, and then you go marry one of your cousins or even first cousin, because you have no idea what's the story. And this is why our history needs to be documented, and the younger people need to know their history and know their stories, right? I could have married a Smith and didn't know that they were my cousins. Um, Due St. Louis says good night. Um, okay, so Yvette, Yvette says she's trying not to miss my show. Yes, Yvette, I know. Thank you, thank you. That's why I always make sure I talk and ask you Oh Lord, nobody told me I was muted. Sorry. I was saying it's good to start digging into your family's history to know where they are from, who they are, and who was there before. Not just um, write down the names and so on, but also document pictures of your family. Start to think back right now from you going upwards, your kids, who was above that, your mother and your mother's mother, and as far back as they can tell you right now, and as many pictures that you can find of different people from that family so that you can leave that for your kids. Because this is really important information that we need to gather and leave for the next generation, or they will have no clue. No clue whatsoever about who their family were before them. Sis Millie says, hi, Vadney. Good night, Cecile. Um, Cecilin. Hi, girl. How are you? Not long time I don't see you on here. Nice to have you. So, yeah, let's start trying to find out who our family are and where they are. That's a very important thing. Very, very important to know who your family members are, um, that passed before you. So that's going to be a project that I expect every household to try to do, and try to dig into your family. You can probably trace your family, go all the way back to slavery, if you start working on it, right? How interesting. How nice for me to hear that at least three people in my family lived, on my father's side, lived to be over 100. There might be more, but it's good to know there are three. I don't know if I'll be the next one to live over 100 years old. I surely hope so. I surely hope so. But you guys start doing your family tree, start digging into your history. That's very important, and I am very interested to meet with families and help them or sit down with them while they try to trace their family background and their roots. It's important. And we want to document that so that more and more people have this information somewhere that they can show their kids later on and so on. So yeah, which families is the family that we're going to be able to work with to document with them who are their relatives and have it stored in our YouTube channel so that future generations can see this and know some of their family members that they wouldn't know otherwise. I'd really like to do documentaries on this for our area because it's very, very important. All right, guys. Is there anything else that you guys want to chat about or want to know? Um, Pauline Elliott says, I'm actually looking for my great grandmother and father, James Alexander Powell and Sarah Ann Honest Powell, who lived in Newmarket in the 1800s. Hmm. Pauline, do you know anybody else that might be, the Honesses are surely there. We have Honesses still alive who are from Newmarket. Um, James Alexander Powell. I am not sure about Powell, but I know there are still Honesses around who probably can help you to trace back this Honest family. Um, but I'm not sure about Powell. I can't seem to recall Powell's. Powell's from Newmarket. But do you have any other information about them, Pauline? Um, any simple thing? What kind of business did they do? Were they farmers? Did they um, which district in Newmarket, for example? They both had moved to Claremont. Where's Claremont? St. Anne? Angela Witter joined us in the house. She says good night. Is Claremont in St. Anne? And so this is the kind of thing I want us to be able to do to dig into our families and retrieve information about they used to they used to rear horses. Is that what you were saying? Um, interesting. Interesting. You know what I heard, Pauline? I heard that there were archives. Oh, she said it's in St. Elizabeth. Claremont is St. Elizabeth. There were archives um, of people who were living in Newmarket. I heard that there were actual archives of the names of the slaves that came there, and they were kept at the Moravian Church. And during the flood, they were removed to Kingston. So I'm not sure where in Kingston they are stored. It might be at the university. I'm not sure. Somebody, that young lady I interviewed from Kilmarnock, who is a professor at the University of the West Indies, she told me she had given me some insight, and we probably need to bring her back on here so she could tell us more about what she knows about any information that came from Newmarket, because there are people who did research on families from Newmarket and they're documented in books. And this story about the archives from the area being moved to Kingston, we probably need to find out where in Kingston exactly is it so we can have access to it, or have it moved back to its rightful place, which is in Newmarket. Yes, I heard about the church. I believe I heard they worked at the church. Yes, so I'm told that they have documentation about families from Newmarket that goes back to slavery. Another person that probably could tell you a lot about information, documented information about the history of people from Newmarket, like where to find it or where to look, is the gentleman, Mr. Samuels. I think he does a lot of work for Beersheba Past Students Association, Beersheba Old School Association. His name is Samuels. He lives in Black River. He 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 is someone who usually dig into the history of new people from Newmarket. So he's somebody that probably can try to engage into helping you to track down some information on who your family members might be and who they might be connected with. But that's really interesting. I will ask um, Dr. Wallace if she knows any of these names, any of these two names, um, so that if she knows anything, to tell us, because she has pretty good memory. So if there are people that she knew, she probably might remember. So I could ask her. Well, I hope you'll find your family. Don't stop posting about it. Don't stop talking about it. Keep digging into it until you reconnect with your family, because um, people from the area, they usually have kids and family. So um, because they moved doesn't mean that their family dropped out. The family would still be back there in Newmarket. So like I said, there are Honesses there, lots of Honesses there, and are still connected. They might, some of them are not living in Newmarket, but they are still connected with the area. So you should be able to track down the Hornet clan. The Powell, I'm not so sure, but yeah, you might be able to find your family, right? So I love this platform to really be spearheading, helping people to locate their family because family is important and we have to connect with our family. And sometimes you don't miss those family or think it's important to connect with them until you get much older. But it doesn't matter what age. It's important to know who your family are and what they were because that will give you a good idea of who you are, your background. That's that's very, very, very important. So let's work on it. I'm very enthusiastic and I'm really excited to meet with a group, a family group, and hear them trace their family back on camera so that we can record it and share it so people can know who is who and who came from where, right? And probably we'll find some of their other relatives overseas. That's very amazing, right? All right. So, Pauline, what I would suggest that you do is start working on that family tree. The people that you know now, your parents, whoever is connected to this side of the family, let them tell you all the people they can remember and you start building that family tree and hopefully you come on here and we can identify some of those names and reconnect the dots so you can we can move backwards to finding some more of your family, right? My father's mother passed away when he was a baby, and that is why I'm looking for them now. Oh boy, we only found out about dad's grandmother's year. Year. Yeah, that's a sad situation. My 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 thing is so you didn't know anybody at all from that side of the family. I hope somebody sees this and and can provide you with some information about your family. All right. Oh, you said last year you found out about it. Yeah. Well, don't stop trying. Like I said, we will try to assist you in whatever way we can. But if we keep talking about it, somebody might know something that can help you. Um, so your your grand your grandmother, your father's mother, she passed away when he was a baby. Mm. All right. let's let's keep the conversation going so that we can be of more value to people who are looking for their relatives, right? That's an interesting thing to work on, and something that really excites me. I am from a massive, massive family. Dad is now 88 years old now and would like to know. Um, Try to see if you can get any more information out of him, any more names that he remember, because it might not even be his um, family that he remembers, but he might remember other people who were around at that time. And if those people are still alive, we probably can get some information from them. Mas Joe knows a lot about Newmarket. Okay, so that's Mas Joe. Joe, I would take that as Joe Campbell up in Louisville. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, let's keep the conversation going and keep it alive so we can track down families and connect people. And people looking for their families not because they want anything from them, they just want to know their family. So I was about to say that my family, I'm from like two massive family from Newmarket. So I have a lot of relatives when sometimes I joke about being related to almost everybody in New Market, you guys might think I'm joking, but it's not. It's not. It's not a joke. It's true. The Smith family is one of the largest family you could find in Jamaica, for sure, and in New Market. It's a very big family, and the Smith and Joneses are my family. I'm also related to the Hines family that are from Middle Quarters, Santa Cruz side. And yeah, those are big families. So I do have a lot of relatives. I don't know the Hines side, but I met a gentleman here in New York once, not long ago, maybe under 2 years ago. And we were talking in the supermarket. He saw me, he liked me, he came over and was talking to me. And this is a great story to share. He came over and he was talking with me, and he was just really nice. And, we just started talking. And then I told him I was from St. Elizabeth, and he said his family are from St. Elizabeth. I said, which family? What are their names? And he said, Hines. I said, Hines? Really? We're in St. Elizabeth. And he told me it's the same Hines family from Middle Quarters area, Santa Cruz. I was like, okay, so that's my mother's father side of family. And I don't know them because my mother's father died when he was young. So I didn't have the chance to meet or associate with his family, but they're Hines, I know, and they're from that area, And when we started talking more into it, turns out it's obviously he's my cousin. But what if we didn't get talking about where you're from and who are your family, and just decide to hook up? I'll be hooking up with my cousin. So this is why it's good to trace your family, right? It was just a random stranger that came up to me in the supermarket and engaged me in a conversation. And I was walking around shopping, so he was following me and talking. And while I was shopping, and we left out of the supermarket at the same time, and we just continued talking. He turned out to be my cousin. Um, did you know that the Lynn and Joneses are the same family? Here, no. Here, yeah, no. Story pop out. No, ma'am. No, no, no. I didn't know that one. What's the story between the Lynch and the Joneses? I didn't know that. Wow, this is amazing, she says. Paulette says, yes, we have a tree from dad's other side of family, Jones and Barracks. Okay. No, I don't know the story between the Lynches and the Joneses, but that would be interesting. Yeah, I'm related to the whole tribe of Jones, from Newmarket, and the whole tribe of Smith. Smiths had a lot of kids, so the family is very big. So we continue to talk about this and share about this, and who knows what we will uncover, and who knows who we will reconnect. I got connected with my cousin simply by accident, by just running into him in New York. And if we weren't talking and digging into family and who might be who, we'd never know that we were related. And up to the point where I interviewed Dr. Wallace, I had no clue we were related and so close to. And here we are, right? So we need to track down our family, know who they are, huh? Know as many as possible. All right, that's important. It's important for history. It's important that you leave documentation for your kids because they will never have a clue. All right, guys, that's it for me. It was such a pleasure sharing with you guys. I didn't see anyone from YouTube. I don't know if anyone in YouTube is watching, but if you are, you could say hello. And Miss Pauline Elliott, I hope you'll find your people. We'll keep at it, right? She said yes, there are one son went to school and used his grandmother's name, and the other used his father's name, and they just kept the two names. That's very so that's almost a story like the Smith and Smith, except that they changed their name by default. Um, but this is just somebody arbitrarily taking on another name um, for themselves. That's interesting. Oh my God. Oh, the things that people used to do. Amazing. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night and stay blessed. Hopefully, I'll be able to join you tomorrow, Sunday. You have a restful Saturday night, and we'll talk tomorrow at some point. Okay? Stay blessed. Good night. And please share this show, this program. Please share this recording so other people can see it and see how they can connect. All right? Hi, St. Louis. Good program. Very informative. Thank you. Please share it so other people can see. People from all over the world are watching this program. So the more you share it, the more people get connected, and the more information gets tossed around. People watch stuff on here. They talk about it, and if they think it's important enough, they'll share it with their family members who are not even on here. So people who are not on Facebook are now being able to see the programs on YouTube because even though I'm broadcasting on Facebook, I'm also broadcasting on YouTube. So if you wanted to share this, for example, with someone who is not on Facebook, you could just go to YouTube, the YouTube channel, and grab the link and share it with them, right? And this is why I I encourage you guys to share this so that it gets to as many people as possible so that the information can keep flowing around and we can get solutions to whatever we are talking about. This young lady can find her family, for example. All right. So good night. Take good care of yourself. This is Evadne signing out from Cold Cold, New York. Take good care of yourself, guys. Bye.